Jordan Poole. What's going to happen this offseason with him? 888-957-9570 before we change this into the 49ers. I do want to hear from Warrior fans. Do you still believe this is a destination for veterans? Is this culture still that culture that attracted the likes of David West, Otto Porter Jr., Bielitsa, Dante DiVincenzo? Do you think free agents are going to line up to come play with the Golden State Warriors this next offseason?
Swaggy P.
Swaggy P. Hey, he had a big Rocket series. Western Conference Finals, he had some moments.
DeMarcus Cousins.
That was sick. I'll never forget that day. Damn, they didn't win a championship that year.
He played good in the finals, though.
He did play well. And
until that quad exploded.
When Kevin Durant got hurt, he actually stabilized that basketball game. He had a big second quarter to kind of weather the storm of, oh my gosh, KD. Carlos Ramirez, what is happening? He was looking dapper yesterday on Giants pre- and post-game live. He's kind of agreeing with this here. Because what's Draymond's excuse for bad behavior? Basically saying that Jordan had fire, Kobe had fire, Garnett had fire, all of them two-way stars, all of them champions. Dwayne Wade fire. Why is it okay with Draymond Green?
Who's that agreeing with us?
Carlos Ramirez. Go figure.
Is he texting you or tweeting you?
He's texting me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, private text.
I'm with him. I was very disappointed that he jumped straight to the DeGrom is better than Lincecum portion of last night's postgame. Yeah, maybe DeGrom's regular season is better than Tim Lincecum's. That's undeniable.
Of course.
All right? You can't write the history of baseball without including Tim Lincecum. That's what his impact is.
That is kind of
I know, but I'm going to cape up for my guy.
Yeah,
but Carlos knows I agree with him more times than not.
I agree with Carlos 30% of the time.
30?
Maybe 25%.
Hey, 30% of the time in baseball, that means you're Willie Mays.
Yeah, that means you're batting 300.
Exactly.
Right? Carlos is doing a good job. Man.
No, he is.
I like Carlos.
They had the four-man crew out there. They had Sean
Estes.
Estes. My favorite was Sean Estes turning to Carlos. I don't even know what WAR means, but DeGrom's at like 44 career WAR and Lincecum's at 19. That's another thing. If Lincecum's only at 19 WAR for his career, like, come on, man. Like literally, if you were to write the history of the Giants franchise, can you write the history of the franchise without a giant couple of chapters on Lincecum?
No doubt. WAR.
And I'm not diminishing DeGrom.
Well, longevity matters there, too. I mean, Lincecum had 4 incredible years that make that up. I mean, if you do that over 10, 12 seasons, his WAR is probably going to look a lot more sexier.
Well, that's the difference between Verlander and Lincecum. Like, Verlander did it for 15 years.
How many high-level games did Grom pitch in as opposed to Tim Lincecum?
That's what I'm saying.
And here's the other thing, the WAR thing. Let's just put it to bed. I saw something Sunday Night Baseball between the Dodgers and the Yankees.
Tell me you're not going to go there.
They had the National League leaders in WAR.
Yeah.
And I get Juan Soto's playing better.
Or this year?
Just this year. This year. Ronald Acuna was number 1. Juan Soto was number 2.
Well, because he's got the great OPS. And he's striking out a lot, but like...
Is Juan Soto the second best player right now in the National League?
No.
He hasn't played like it.
No.
Certainly hasn't played like it this year.
He's better than the narrative, but by his own standards of when he's been rolling, he's been up and down.
I don't really care about WAR.
It's
an
an interesting
that
metric.
stat.
No, I think it's an interesting metric. But like, for example, I believe Brandon Belt's time with the Giants, because he's played more years, his career WAR is much higher than I think Will Clark's. But like, no one's taking Brandon.
Manuel Rodriguez here, YouTube. What happened to the Saginaw Savage talking on BS Talk? Manuel, when I said I wanted the Saginaw Savage, I wanted Draymond Green to beat Barkin. I wanted that in the Sacramento series. But I wanted that with the LA Lakers. So everybody's pointing at Poole's poor struggles, and he struggled. He was unplayable in the Lakers series. Klay Thompson struggled. He was borderline unplayable. It was like, Klay, stop shooting. It was bad. Steph Curry's 3 wasn't working well. Kuminga wasn't playing. Moody had the tough job of trying to slow down LeBron James. God bless his soul. But why does nobody talk about Draymond Green's series? We stay on Poole and Klay this whole offseason. I've been sitting back just kind of watching everything.
Because I was going to bring someone else up.
Who?
I feel like Andrew Wiggins hasn't been talked about at all.
Well, he missed 25 games for whatever reason. For whatever reason. No. I'm not giving him a pass.
Yeah.
That didn't throw a monkey wrench into the season. That didn't derail. That was part of the cohesion part. He came back in the playoffs. He came off the bench, and he was starting.
I'm not outraged. I'm just saying that's why they lost a lot of games in the regular season. Like, so, like, we can have the discussion about, like, damn,
Right.
Missing Andrew Wiggins really hurt this team. And I just don't hear anyone saying that.
No doubt. And
I'm not saying that, he needs to come back. No, I'm not huffing and puffing. What I'm saying is...
It messed up the chemistry of the team.
It was baked into the lasagna of losing.
No doubt. And so I don't want to revisit
that. Might be a new one for me. The lasagna of losing.
I don't...
It's Fedoni.
Yeah, I know. Let's stay focused. Tyler Miller. See, this is what I don't even want to go back down this road where you're like, oh, man, Jordan Poole pulls Draymond. Well, Tyler, you're from the streets. We know the street code. When a guy like Draymond gets into your face the way he got into Jordan Poole's face, what is Jordan Poole supposed to do? Let him lean on him and stay in his face? No, you get off me. Give me my space. That's what happens. But you don't come back and retaliate and punch him. We all know that. So don't give me this stuff that Jordan Poole punched Draymond Green. Draymond Green walked up on Jordan Poole. And you do not know what was said. I promise you that. You do not know what was said. So just stop. I'm tired of hearing that.
It's not lasagna. It's lasagna.
Lasagna. That's pretty good.
Danker.
That's pretty good.
A lot of layers of that one.
There's. That's well played. That's well played.
Hey, you know what, Loveman?
That's well played.
You have been so efficient. So efficient as of lately.
Well, I just woke up. I didn't know if he was part of the show. You guys been so damn quiet.
War. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing.
What was said for Draymond to walk up on him is the part you're missing, Vontae. Listen, I'm not even going to speak on it. You don't know what was said. You think you know what was said. You just don't know.
I could not care less.
And hopefully it does come out for the public one day on what was said. Hopefully it does. Until then, it's all speculation. That's all it is. But all I want to know is from Dub Nation, are veterans going to want to line up to play on this team? You got guys podcasting, coaches podcasting with a player. You saw what happened this season. We saw what happened in Minnesota when Rudy Gobert, 3-time, 4-time DPOY, whatever it is, punched Kyle Anderson. They said, you know what? Kick rocks. We don't need you for the playing game. You need to be disciplined. Well, you know what? That didn't happen with the Golden State Warriors. And don't tell me that, hey, he couldn't go to a couple practices. Draymond Green's been here forever. He knows what's going on with this basketball team. He ain't no dummy. Draymond Green's one of the smartest basketball players I've seen on the floor.
If I remember correctly, when he said he came back, he had spent time with his family. It was like very, not dismissive, but it was almost like,
Yeah. He didn't get popped for a game. So, do veterans want to sign here? That's going to be very interesting to see what happens this offseason. Let's go to Coach Hall of San Diego. Coach Hall, what's happening?
Hey, good morning, fellas, man. I just wanted to chime in on the Draymond conversation. I've been saying it, man, for almost 2.5 seasons now. Offensively, his game has regressed. And it's like our offense is so predictable. He will literally get the ball at the top of the key and stand there 3, 4, 5 seconds and, waiting on, everybody knows who he's trying to pass to, but, blowing layups, not finishing, getting 2 techs and thrown out of a game when we're up 30 seconds left to go against Charlotte in the regular season game. It's like he got so much to say and so much smoke for everybody else, but he won't look in the mirror. I love Draymond to death, but, man, we just got to keep it real. His game has regressed, and he only chooses – it's like he cherry-picks who he wants to give the smoke to. He wasn't giving that smoke to AD and LeBron and his friends and things like that. It wasn't the same Draymond against Sacramento, helping players up. So we just got to call it what it is, man.
Hey, Coach Hall, it's a great point. And Shasky, before we segue to the 49ers, we want to talk about Poole and Clay struggling against the Lakers. How did Draymond Green play?
Not good. At all. Steph didn't play good at all. I thought Wiggins was
You heard Coach Hall. He loves Draymond Green to death. I think you love Draymond Green to death.
Yeah.
No, Michelle, your wife, that was her favorite player.
Yes.
I love Draymond Green to death. Love him. But what's right is right, is wrong is wrong. And what's wrong is people pinpointing at pointing the finger at Jordan Poole, talking about, oh, well, he's the moper, he's the baby, and I don't know. And that's why I called Mark Willard's show yesterday. I called the show because I said that was irresponsible of Mark Willard. And Mark Willard's a pro's pro. We don't beef. I don't hate him. He doesn't hate me. It's all love. But I thought it was very irresponsible to say, well, maybe the organization doesn't like Jordan Poole. And that's crap.
Well,
that's not
if
fair.
That's the case, why'd they give him an extension?
Right. What, just to make them feel good? Oh, here's $130 million because we feel sorry for you. What? Joe Lacob, the businessman that he is, you think it's just going to give away $130 million? Hey, here you go, Jordan Poole. Let's just be nice now.
Well, I also do understand, like, we want to retain an asset to be able to move down the line. Like, so there's layers to this, right? Obviously, from a business standpoint. Like, let's say you didn't. Hypothetically, they don't like Jordan Poole. Everybody's against him, whatever. Why wouldn't you have explored a trade in season?
Right.
Almost like immediate, especially when things were going south. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Or am I tripping?
No, you're not tripping.
Especially when, like, the Kevin Durant thing was out there, and Steph said during the summer that they were exploring a Kevin Durant deal.
You made them move right there. You make a move right there. Mark Willer said, which is what made me call him, we've made it all about Jordan Poole and Draymond Green. I think it's way bigger than that. There's plenty of evidence that would suggest that this is the whole Warriors team against Jordan Poole. It feels like the organization is against Jordan Poole.
I think the front end...
I just thought that was unfair.
Well, I think the front end is true. I do not think this is just Jordan versus
the Warriors
Draymond.
Organization.
No, I don't know about... No, I'm saying it's not just about Jordan Poole versus Draymond Green. Mm-hmm. It's deeper than that. I don't... The back end, I whatever. But I believe that he's right on that aspect. I think that there's many issues.
Right.
I don't think it's just this. I do think this is a big one.
Now look, I think you and I have both been fair in critiquing this Warriors team. Jordan Poole, we had issues with this defense. Jordan Poole was unplayable against the LA Lakers. That was not good basketball. Did I agree with the quote-unquote moping or his attitude after the game in Game 4 against the LA Lakers? No, I didn't. But he has to play better. But I didn't agree with some of the media saying, oh, man, his bad attitude, he was moping over. Well, he's pissed off. You just lost Game 4. You're down 3-1, and you didn't play well. You play it like crap. I would be mad, too. Hell, I wouldn't even talk to the media. That's just me. I'm a sore loser. These guys are better than me for going up to the podium. I would not talk. And Jordan Poole didn't have a great year. Defensively, there was a lot of issues. Offensively, there was a lot of issues. So we're not absolving Jordan Poole saying that he played great and we're keeping up for him. We're just talking. Steve Kerr and Draymond Green keep bringing it up. So now we're here talking about it.
Why hasn't Draymond come out publicly and say, I'm going to pick up my option?
Nobody asked him that. We ask Kevin Durant that every single day. Think about that. Ask Kevin Durant about New York every single day to the point where he took 12 days off from the media and said, I'm just trying to come here and hoop. I just want to hoop. I'm not thinking about New York. I just want to hoop. And y'all just keep asking me about what I'm going to do in the offseason when we're trying to three-peat. We didn't do that with Draymond Green. Why?
I don't know. I just don't know why he hasn't come out publicly and said, like, if he really wants to be here, that doesn't preclude him from working on an extension, right? Like, you could still just come out and say, I'm opting in.
Yep.
Like, now we're here. It's the end of the year. He said he wasn't going to talk about it during the regular. Okay, fine. But now we're here. Why aren't we hearing from him like I'm going to opt in? Or hey, I would like a 4-year deal, but if that doesn't come to fruition, I still want to be here. Right. I'm opting in.
Well, he said it before the season, and I guess everybody was like, well, that's that. But we didn't ask that question.
Well, I think at times, and I would say this to him, and Draymond's a bully, and I think a lot of people are afraid of him. Us included in the media, and I don't blame anybody because you don't want to get iced out by him. You don't want to be called out. You want to be able to have certain level of, conversation, dialogue, access, whatever you want to file it under. I think, the guy can be a bully.
It's tough because he's a homegrown player. You know how we all feel about homegrown players. And it's tough for a lot of people to separate the championships and what happened this season. Or some of the things that have happened in the past while you won championships. Hell, this behavior, whether we like it or not, and I thought the NBA job to go to State Warriors, but whether we like it or not, his actions on the floor cost him a championship in 2016. Now, it may have been a blessing because you got Kevin Durant, but Kevin Durant, basically, his departure, a lot of people blame it on Draymond Green because of what happened that night on Monday night in L.A. against the Clippers. We know about him being held back from Steve Kerr, cursing at Steve Kerr. I'm just saying, we love Draymond Green. We're not hating on him at all, but we got to call it like it is. That's why we do what we do, Shasky.
Well, so it's interesting you say that because
I'm not caping for anybody.
Well, it's funny that you say that because yesterday, and this is a different sport, but yesterday Deebo Samuel came out and was at a podium. Now, I love Debo. Bonte, I said to you last year, the year before when they were in the playoffs, I said, Debo is an all-time 49er. He could have played in any era. Yep. He's the kind of guy, I don't care if it's the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. The way he plays football, he could play in any era. Heading into last year, I watched him at camp, and I said, he don't look good. He's not getting any separation. He looks sluggish. He looks slow. And I was disappointed in the season that Debo was having. Now, he had a couple of really nice plays because he's a freak athlete and he's a monster. But just look at the numbers and look at the production and look at the attitude and look at the bounce in his step, right? Compared to the final 6 or 7 games of the year prior to where he is. And I said, dude, he doesn't look that good. And Fillmore Mike's coming down my road destroying me. I'm like, dude, I call it like I see it. And then Debo goes to a podium, and I got to give Debo credit. Debo goes to a podium yesterday, and he basically comes out and says, yeah, I played like crap last year. And that was refreshing.
Yep.
But the difference between Debo and Draymond is Draymond does that every 3 games where he's calling himself out. And then he plays a little better, and then he slacks a little, then he calls himself out. It's like this wash, rinse, repeat cycle, and it's just nauseating.
Yeah.
Now, if Debo says what he says yesterday at a podium and comes out sluggish again this year, now we got a problem.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
I think he's going to respond, though.
I think Debo's going to have a monster season. I think the skill position guys, Ayuk, Debo, Kittle, could be their last hurrah together. I think they're going to ball out, especially with Christian McCaffrey. And don't let
But it's not hating. I guess
this is where I get frustrated. People think we're in our feelings. We're just calling like it is.
I'm trying to assess what's going on.
Yeah, we don't like the optics. And I just think the youngsters have taken the blame for everything this season.
Exactly.
When I watch, again, do you want to revisit the road trips where the veterans were on the floor in the last 5 minutes of the game and they couldn't close deals in Orlando, Charlotte, Miami? And that's just the first road trip. We saw that all season long. All season we saw that. The veterans. I'm just saying, why do we blame the youngsters so much? Kamika's playing 15 minutes a game. This is on the big dogs.
But I just don't. This is the other thing. I don't understand the magic that he holds among Warrior fans. If I said to you, Draymond goes to the Lakers, do you dramatically look at the Lakers differently?
That's a great question.
He's good. He's good, but it's not like a deal breaker. You know, he goes to the Kings. Right? Yeah, they're better. Okay, why does he hold this mythical power only in Golden State?
And we again,
like Curry can't operate without Draymond
Well,
Green.
that's a disrespect to Stephen Curry.
Now, do they need him on defense? Yes, this team needs him on defense because they don't have a lot of great defenders. That I'll listen to. But this thing that like Curry can't operate without Draymond, I just think that's absurd.
Let's go to